Right, this thing's live. Let's call the meeting to order, please, and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for those that braved the elements tonight for coming. May we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Oh, Gills. Smith.
Yeah, here, sorry.
That's okay. Boggs.
Here.
Fleming.
Here.
Rose.
Here.
Cruzen.
Here.
Thank you all.
All right, and Bill is with us this evening. He's on Teams again. He did not brave the elements. And why wouldn't he? I wish we didn't. Everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes. I would take any questions, comments, concerns, or a motion to approve. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That will carry. We have some correspondence this evening. There is a public informational meeting for Italian Fest 2024 on Monday, January 29th at 5:30 p.m. here in the council chambers. This is open to the public. Details of the event will be discussed. We need lots of volunteers, so please see Bettina if you are interested. That is B. Bohannon, BOHANAN at cityoffarmingtonil.com. Brings us to you, Herb, for cemetery reports.
We had the opportunity to read the minutes from our meeting. Things that I might want to point out that we find extremely interesting is the fact that the high school has our gates done, and we're going to have those powder coated, and then we're going to present plaques to the young people that built them at the awards banquet at the high school in April. There'll be two plaques, one big plaque that'll be put here with a picture of the gate and all the kids and their names, and then a plaque that we'll put at the high school in the industrial arts class for them to have for what they're going to do with that. We also are proposing that we open up a new section of the cemetery, section 14, which is to the left of the parking area across from section 10 and north of section 8. Is presently unused. We're only going to use a half of that. Will be in the row. If you look at the fence line, it'll come west of that fence line for 180 feet. And then that area it'll facilitate 8 lots or 32 lots of 8 graves. And so we just, not that we really need the expansion right now, but we feel like if we get it started and get it all laid out properly, then we'll be prepared to do that. And there is a description of what we're talking about there. There has been several inquiries about the cemetery. People are in the cemetery. The Fry family, Danny Keppel, and a Capello family, which it was one of the Agnolettis, Lino. His wife was a Capello, and somebody was searching for that kind of information. So other than that, we meet every month, second Tuesday. They're all welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have no old business at this point. Brings us to new business. First item that we have under new business is a discussion possible action. Police Department new hire and sign-on bonus. I sent this to everybody, as did Bettina. This came about as a recommendation from the Police Merit Commission. They didn't really like the way we structured what we did previously because they felt that there was the opportunity for, we could hire somebody, and the way we were prorating it, they could walk away and there was no consequence, or maybe consequence isn't the right word, but there was no motivation for them to stay because we were paying a little bit at a time. So we've modeled this a little bit after what OSF St. Francis is doing is an upfront stipend. And then Bill has worked it so that if they leave at any point during these 2 years, they have to return the entire amount to the city. And he's got it all worked out for how to do that. Bill, do you have anything to add to that?
She's on mute.
You're muted.
I'm muted, sorry. Not really. I think your description of that's pretty good. Simply set forth in the document, so it should be easy to follow. You know, a year and a half from now, when we go back to look at it and decide what we were thinking.
The police commission set the amount. We're hoping that maybe this will get us, are you still at one candidate, Chris, or have you gotten any more applications? Hopefully that we can advertise this. Maybe this will garner us some applicants as well. What questions does this make to you guys, or are you good and you want to pass this?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Could it
please.
be more than 5,000, or is that just the standard?
Man, I'm struggling to pay the $5,000 to be honest. We've got the money, but I also don't want to. You know, I think this is probably a really good place to start,
Okay, and so
unless you
we're
tell me
at-
that we're too low.
I mean, I'd rather donate more to an hourly salary than make this go larger. I'd rather give it all an hourly wage to all of our
Right.
officers.
No,
over-
absolutely. I was just thinking, $5,000 sounds great, but really in the economy, how it is right now, it's really not. But it's better than nothing.
Well, and
there's a
it's-
little
And
incentive.
also, we offer paid full benefits.
So the other things that we do offer is we offer our employees 100% of their health insurance,
Vision and dental.
vision and dental.
So they don't pay anything.
They don't pay a
Yeah.
penny. The employee pays nothing for
That's
that.
amazing.
Plus, you contribute 4% to IMRF. We contribute 12%. Plus, they can put their family on our health plan for 25% of the premium.
What's the age limit?
They don't have an age limit, not like some places, but we'll see.
You know,
That's
so
actually, like,
So would you like an
So
application?
our fringe benefits are actually really lucrative.
So yeah,
but you
it
don't
really
find
makes
those
up
type
for
of
it
benefits
anywhere.
You know,
Anywhere.
and-
You would
and
be paying $300-400.
Chris, what do we
for yourself
start?
out of
Week
pocket.
vacation at 1 year, 2 weeks vacation at 2 years,
Yeah. and then
plus the 5 days
Yeah.
sick leave, sick time. You know, if we have to send somebody to the academy, we've done that. And while they're in the academy, we pay the transportation back and forth, or we'll provide a vehicle, depending if we have one that runs at the moment. And then there's 2 months in field training.
Yeah.
So, you know, by the time you're through this, if somebody who has the wherewithal to be a police officer, they've got the ability. I mean, yeah, we don't pay the most in the world, but I certainly think we don't pay the least either. Plus, with the fringe benefits, you know, this comes in at the benefits alone are probably worth $10,000 to $15,000 a year.
That's a
And
huge incentive.
plus, the city of Farmington, because the deductible the way it is, once you meet your deductible, we also rebate a portion of it back to you. You know, so we're trying really hard to make Farmington a really great place to work. We struggle to pay even what Canton pays, but you know, there's some downfalls of that too. I'm sure that we can sit here and I'm not going to put Joey on the spot because that's his employer. But you know, there's different things that the city of Canton doesn't offer that we are. You know, so this, and I think we've got a great force. I think we've got a great group of officers that we all stand behind very firmly, and we would love to add somebody to it. So there's my pitch.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the new hire sign-on bonus structure. I'll second
I have a motion from Joey, a second from Dave Rose. I'm going to need a roll call on that, please, Nancy.
Boggs,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
and Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to turn this next item under new business to Bettina, the discussion possible action for Farmington Community Center Italian Fest gaming allocation.
Yeah.
And then I'll chime in where I have to, or walk all over you.
Please do.
So.
All right. So Dave Denoni and I are, well, I forced him to be a part of this with me. I literally was like, you're doing this with me. And no knows if ands, or buts, you're doing this with me. So this, bless his heart, he is hanging out with me and, walking me through this. So I've taken it upon myself that you don't email him and bury him with all the emails, that I will take on most of the work. There's a lot of costs that will need to go with, resurrecting Italian Fest. So we noticed that the city recently, they get approximately $70,000 annually for video gaming, and every year only $1,440 of it is allocated. I know this year we did scholarship out of that money, but it's not allocated year after year. So we would like to see if we could ask for an annual allocation of $20,000 to go toward the Farmington Community Center. For year one, we want to take some of that money and kickstart Italian Fest so that we can have seed money to start it and get it going. And then also there's a room over there that will need remodeled quickly, as I have someone who is interested in renting it. And so it should help take care of all of those expenses, get it on its feet, and hopefully running slowly. And then maybe every year, $20,000 we could put toward some part of that building, whether it be new equipment, an update, anything else. As we know, Italian Fest isn't going to cover everything. Maybe after a few years, we won't need that $20,000 at all. But if we just knew that, we were getting $20,000 from the get-go until we really had, the gym up and going and a lot more of an income from that building, we'd appreciate it and know that we could get things going, more activities going there. Also, we did want to invite everybody to the council chambers on January 29th at 5:30 for an informational meeting about Italian Fest and what we plan on doing. We are looking for volunteers, lots of volunteers.
So the Farmington Community Center is going to become a commission of the city of Farmington, but it's going to be like our rec committee or the historical society, where they're kind of their own entity. They're going to have to report to us on a yearly basis on what their expenditures and what their incomes and such look like. Bettina's worked it out with the people in Fulton County that as we do make, we get people to rent the building and such, it's going to be on a square footage basis. And then once a year, we're going to have to report our income on the square footage, and then they will determine what we're going to have to pay in real estate taxes for that. But it sounds like it could start out to be little or nothing to begin with. But the city's not really going to be in charge of Italian Fest. It's going to be that center, and God love Dave got roped into this.
So basically, a lot of the people for Italian Fest, will probably be on the committee for that entity. But, we're still going to oversee it from a distance, make sure it's still running along our ethics. Anybody have questions? Anything?
So
For Italian Fest? I think it's September 7th, but I have to make sure that there isn't anything going on in Elmwood
or elsewhere.
or elsewhere.
One of the things is we can also make this money contingent on that we continue to make this money from the gaming. That's what we do with the museum. The museum gets $1,200 right off the top every month to help pay for their rent and expenditures. And that is based on a caveat that the money is there. So, right now, we have never earmarked this money for anything. We have used it here and there for things. As you recall, you folks were gracious enough to help us endow a scholarship for the Farmington Academic Foundation. But other than that, this money is just sitting in the general fund. And if we can harness some of this money to help us get our community center off the ground, it seems like that would be a better plan of just letting it sit in the bank account.
It'd be nice to see Italian Fest back in town.
There's been some call for it. So at this time, if you guys are interested in doing this, I would entertain a motion.
So moved. And second.
All right, so I have a motion from Joey and seconded by David to earmark $20,000 of our gaming money to the Farmington Community Center to be doled out by their board. That's going to be a roll call, please.
Fox,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Cruzen,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, folks. That's the end of new business. Committee reports. Jenny, do you have anything this evening?
No.
Thank you. Joey, anything public safety wise?
Nothing to report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Nate on sewer.
Nothing to report, sir.
Thank you. Alex is not here. Leslie, Parks and Rec.
Nothing tonight?
Thank you. Up to Dave Rose for Public Grounds and
Nothing
Buildings.
to report.
Thanks. Dave, Herb, young lady. Hi. We got a big crowd tonight. Wayne? Well, we've taken roll call. If that's the case.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, sorry.
I just noticed, I don't know if you did on Facebook, quite a few people mentioned snow removal downtown.
So what I have noticed out of Shiloh is you tell him to do something, he's going to do it the best he can possibly do, or he's not going to do it at all. And I will say that I've never seen that much removed from the downtown. And I imagine most of it's sitting in a pile out here in the parking lot that we're going to have till like April or so. But, and you know the conversation I had with you via text. I was in Milwaukee and wasn't real sure exactly what was going on. But yes, Bettina, please, our kudos to our public works staff for snow removal in general, plus that downtown. That I'm serious, they have never removed that much snow.
I will let them know.
All right. Anybody else?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye.
Get